Well, the sun's coming up. It's 20 to 8. Just about to drop the kid. Oh, yes, Addie lost a tooth last night.
No, in the morning.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Just dropping the kids off at school and getting ready for this morning. I see it is 26 Fahrenheit. So what about minus 2, 3, something like that. And it's supposed to slowly climb. So I'm hoping the track will stay good all morning. We have to get on it immediately when I get there, or it will, or the last set will be a mud bath. So some decent weather today. We have some horses racing tonight. Now I see some, I don't know about, yeah, it's pretty nasty weather blowing in here on Thursday. There's going to be a snow-rain mix throughout the night and turning to rain overnight and then freezing in the morning. Messy day on Thursday. It's not supposed to be that bad at the Meadows, but I have to get out of Ohio into the state of Pennsylvania, so I have no idea what it'll be like if the weather comes that is supposed to be coming. Now, last night I talked about, sent you guys a video. What's wrong, honey? Why didn't you want that? How come? Did you ask Ollie if he wanted it? You don't watch Seinfeld? Stumps. Top of the morning to you.
There's a police car.
There is a police car. So last night had a good night at the office. A lot of question marks, right? Was Drebin tired or was he ready to go? And quite frankly, I gave Dominic and James a very easy out. I said, well, we paid him into the New Holland series coming up. Do you want to give him 10 days off or do you want to continue forward? And Dominic said, the way he raced last week and going into the warm-up, I probably would have said yes, but he raced good. Now, Dominic's super optimistic. So I wanted to get a second opinion. So I just messaged James and I said, hey, was Drebin better? He said, much, much better. So continue on. I think, it was the same as all the horses when they were 3 turning 4. We'd race them to the spring. I don't want to race him right until June when he's going to be tired. So I think depending on how he fits into the New Holland series, anytime right now they can get some time off, but they're not getting 8 weeks off. As I said, we're going to go down the same path we have with everybody else. The 3-year-olds turning 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks off, especially depending on where they have to race when they come back. Now, so Drebin raced great, finished 4th. I think there was a path there, and I'm sure, to run it back, as they say. If James slides out second over, which he could have, I think he's a winner, but he drove the horse conservatively, and I can't blame him for doing that. The horse raced well. Here, a ton of question marks with JK Victory. I had a tough time sinking my teeth into the fact that it was just the Miami Valley surface that caused him to look so poor his last 2 starts. But again, on the other side of things, it was so weird. He looked great in his qualifier. He looked great at Dayton. And then you go to Miami Valley and a totally different horse shows up. Had the vet check him over. Couldn't really find anything. We raced him last night at Northfield. Now, I'd only ever raced once, other than a couple of qualifiers. One time at Northfield in his life, when Ron Burke had him. He was 3rd in the Milstein, I think 2nd or 3rd in the Milstein. We raced him last night. Now, first over, he wasn't super comfortable, running in a bit in the turns, but man, finishing 2nd, closing in on the leader, 53-3 last night. He was awesome. Yes?
Why is it that most of the horses that we get come from Ron Burke?
That's a good question. You know what? It's always good to shop in places that are, well, 1, you're right, they're good horses, and 2, they don't fall off the cliff. You don't have that nervousness. Are the horses, is there something wrong with the horse? Is there something going on with the horse? Let's go. So it's kind of Ollie, it's what you see is what you get, and that's, and they have a ton of horses too. So it's not like we're just buying a few horses, buying a stable of horses off people. This is a stable of 300 horses that we're buying horses out of now and again. But you're right, we did, and it just, I think, more comfort than anything.
How many horses do we have right now?
How many horses do we have?
Right now?
Probably 130, 140, something like that. So JK Victory raced tremendous. Probably one of his better miles, and certainly one of his, well, he's only ever had 2 miles in his life on a half, and both of them he hit the board. So I'm eager to see what he's going to do moving forward. I think we stay the course for now and leave him here. And then Trosa, I almost feel bad taking that horse out of Ontario the way he raced last night. I know James hold on. Oh no, they've been coming in for a few minutes, but we're early. I know that James was kind of lobbying quietly for Harry to keep the horse and keep the horse in Ontario. But as I said to him, I said, James, truthfully speaking, in those classes, he's going to race for more money at Northfield Park in an infinitely easier bunch. It just makes no sense. This horse, literally, if I'm looking at him right now, and I am, I'm thinking he's wheeling off 4, 5, 6 wins in a row because he's just way, way better. And as I said, the comparison I made last night is don't believe me, just watch. Watch Your Mouth is favorite tonight in the class Trosa is going into. Well, Trosa is a way, way better horse than Watch Your Mouth. That's just the way it is. That's the reality of it. And he fits that. And then the next class up, which he's, that's Tenacious Hanover's class, where I can't in good faith say, oh, he's way better than Tenacious Hanover. I'm not going to say that. But I don't think he's going to struggle in any classes in Northfield, Miami Valley, or the Meadows, wherever we want to race him for his next 5, 6, 7 starts. So he should go on quite a tear south of the border. And then who knows? At that point, if he starts to get a classification issue in the States, he can go back to Canada if he wants. All right, guys, out you go.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Have a good day. Don't forget anything, please. Ollie, thanks for... Did you eat any of the muffin, or did you just grind it all into my seat?
I ate it.
Zip.
Well, mostly both.
Mostly both.
We can get a seat out, Dad.
You can't get your thing out? There you go. I'll move my seat out. There. Did you get it?
Yep. Nope.
Nope. Did you get it? That's a girl.
Got everything.
All right, Eddie Bear. Love you.
All right.
Take care. So those were the 3 horses last night. Very happy with them. And then we come into 2 days where it seems like every horse we're putting on the track over the next 48 hours is morning line favorite. So that's always a good feeling as a driver for sure. Going into today, I also told you that this morning, now, I told everybody that Rosetta was heading to Ontario quickly to race there for a little bit. I do have plans on racing her in the Weiss. I believe the Weiss in the Poconos, potentially. But before that, we want to get some good racing in her and stretch her out. I think the best place to do that would be at Mohawk. And quite frankly, the Nominals 2 is a good spot. Now, for this week, we have Oh Hell No and Never Lose Felix racing there. I suspect what you're going to see happen is Never Lose Felix go to the Meadows with Tim, and Rosetta move over to Ontario. Before then, Rosetta's going to race in the Non-Winners of 2 on Saturday, which I think she'll find quite satisfying here in Ohio also. So we have Spitfire Overseas heading to Canada today. Rosetta will head there next week. We have a broodmare, Capistrano, that has to go to Ontario also. She has an Ontario-bred baby in her belly by Beach Glass, and that has to foal out she has to foal out in Ontario. I can't see any reason not to go back to Beach Glass, but I do have a breeding of Poppy Rob Hanover that was offered to me, so that also is an option. I'm just checking with Steve and Alan today about that. So we have the broodmare coming home. State Park S is almost ready to breed. We're trying to figure the best place to go with her. We do have a breeding. I know Joel and I had talked. We do have a breeding to Centurion ATM for her, but I'm trying to look and say, okay, in the back of my head, there's that voice saying, Anthony, you can't keep every mare as a broodmare. We're getting up now. When we count, I counted Melisandre, but man, the way she's training, that may be out the window. But I am counting she sits at the bar, and other horses that we're going to breed, and Pull the Shoes is not left yet. She was planning to be sold months ago. So what we're left with is 12, 13 broodmares. A little too much. So who's going to leave? I don't know. I was going to look for a little bit more of a commercial breeding for State Park S. And I'm sure Joel's going to watch this. I wanted to talk to Joel about that. I know that Alan and Steve both said Father Patrick, and then Alan come back and also said Tactical Approach would be fine. I do have a Tactical Approach breeding that I acquired earlier on in the winter also. So that's what's going on. As I said, this time of year, I'm wearing 3 hats at all times, so my head gets quite hot. You know, we have the broodmares when they're foaling out, who they're being bred back to. We have stake payment season. I finished all that yesterday, sent the updates to Wendy, and then obviously we have our racehorses. And if you really want to get into it, our babies. That's who we're training today. So lots going on this week, lots going on today, yesterday, tomorrow, in regards to getting everything squared away for the start of stake payment season. Really excited about the 3-year-olds that are coming back. A lot of people asking me about them, when they're ready, what the plan is with them. The plan is going to be firmed up when we see them race, right? That's the whole point. So really, really eager to see those horses this week. A little more in real time. 3 Point Blue Chip will qualify tomorrow. Jason or Tyler will go with him. I'll be in the Meadows with Irresistible Sun tomorrow afternoon. So that is pretty much a little bit of last night and a little bit of this morning in a nutshell. I haven't heard of any scratches. Oh, that's my phone there. I haven't heard of any scratches yet this morning, so everybody should be on track. Tomorrow we're going to go with all the sophomores, some of them going a little quicker, some of them are backing up. I went a very, very good mile with Grand Slam Dio the other day, so she's just going 1.5 miles tomorrow, and then I'm going to come back Friday or Saturday with a stiffer mile for her. Depending on how she feels and what she does and how she does it, she may qualify next week. The whole plan is for sure to get her over to Ontario anyway, so I may qualify her next week and then send her over to Ontario to requalify there potentially, or just race her in the maiden the next week because that's what she fits. So that is everything. You're all up to date, I believe. Tomorrow I'll bring you a midweek update if I remember to do so on my way to the Meadows. I'll update you on every horse in the barn, what they're doing, how they trained, how they're coming, and how they look. So I'll let you go for the morning. I'll bring you an update later this afternoon telling you how the babies went. But for right now, my biggest concern is the weather. It's a beautiful day, which is always a good thing, unless you're trying to train babies with a little bit of ice in the track. Because if you're horsemen out there, or you understand how science works, when you have water in frozen dirt and then it starts to melt, you have mud. So, trying to beat the mud. Beat the mud. That's the name of the game today. I will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful Tuesday morning.